Hello, my beautiful crafty friends. How is everybody doing today? We are going to make this beautiful snowflake wreath. We are going to use, let me set that up there a minute. We are going to be using navy blue poly burlap, 24 cuts at 10 inches each. We are going to need 24 cuts of the white poly burlap, 10 inches each. And then look at this beautiful, if you can see it, I don't know, my lighting is not that great. It is a soft pale blue and white tweed. And it is so gorgeous. And we are going to incorporate that into the wreath. Only 4 pieces at 10 inches each, but it's going to make an impact. All right, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I cut my mesh. I do use the wood burner. I like using the wood burner. I use it for everything except jute. I put a couple clips on the end of my glass cutting board on top of my self-healing cutting mat, and that is what I use as my ruler. And then you just go straight down and stay inside the same row all the way down. I just cut that wrong. I just cut that at 9 inches. Actually, I could use that for a Liz petal. See, everybody goofs up once in a while. I didn't jump a line. I picked the wrong line. All right. So there is a 10-inch there. And I'm going to keep this 9-inch off to the side. I'm going to count it, but I'm going to keep it off to the side so I know to use it for Liz petal, not anything else. Okay, I'm going to jump off of here and I'll cut my mesh. You guys go ahead and get your cuts done. And when we come back, we will start making our petals. Okay, guys, I got my tweed cut, and I did forget to mention that there is jute in that, so you cannot wood burn the tweed. You have to use your rotary cutter. But what I want to jump in and show real quick is making the triple Liz petal and the double Liz petal. Because this tweed is going to fray so badly. And the longer it just sits around and gets moved and touched, it's going to make it fray more. So I kind of want to get those petals done now. So I'm going to take my piece of tweed. I have the finished edge on the top left, bottom right, top corner to bottom corner. Then we're going to take this tip almost all the way to the top, about a 1/2 inch, maybe. And then you're going to fold it again, and you're going to fold it completely up. Okay? And then you're just going to pick it up. And I fold mine this way because it puts the longer, or like the more covered, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's like, it's more covered. And you'll see the first time you guys go to make your Liz petal exactly what I'm talking about. So you just want to kind of match up your tails and make sure it's, you know, laying nice and even. And then just put a clip on it and set it aside. And then we're going to take our navy blue and do the same thing, top corner to bottom corner. We're going to take this tip almost the whole way to the top, about a 1/2 inch. You're going to leave up there. See if you guys can see. There, you can see right there. And then you're going to fold it in half completely. And then your short fold is on this side facing up, which is why I flip it. And I just run my fingers down because this stuff does stick to itself. Okay, and then we're going to take our tweed and I'm going to open this up. I'm going to set this on a line on my cutting mat just to guide me for an inch so that all my petals are the same. And then I'm going to line the tip of that one up at the next bar and then bring the blues in. Get rid of this clip. And if you have to move your blue a little, just sort of walk each side up separately. It just makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So that's my, right there, it looks bigger than an inch, but it's not. It's an inch of space in there. I'll double check it. Double check it. Yep, exactly an inch. And then I'm just going to take a little band and I'm just going to wrap it. You can measure if you want. You want to leave about 5 inches from where you band it to the top of your petal. I think 3 will be okay. Okay, and then cut off your excess. I'm going to leave about an inch and a half of tail here. I can possibly cut them down later, but depending on how you're laying your petals, you may need that extra bit of tail in there to catch with the zip tie. And of course, if later while putting the petals on, I notice the need for that, I will point that out to you. Okay, that was the double. And now we're going to make one of the triples. So we're going to have 4 doubles and 4 triples. I will show you what the other 4 are going to look like. But again, just in case anybody's just tuned in here, you're going to do it curl side up, finished edge, top left, bottom right. Bring top corner to bottom corner. Just kind of smooth that out there. Take this tip, bring it almost all the way to the top, about a 1/2 inch, and then fold it completely up to the top. And then when you pick it up, just fold it on itself, kind of. And then just run your fingers down through to make sure everything's lined up straight and nothing is snagged. Okay. And then I'm going to put a clip on this. And we'll set that aside. Then we're going to take our tweed. Same thing, finished edge, top left, bottom right. Top corner to bottom corner. Bring the tip almost all the way to the top, about a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to take it and fold it in half completely all the way to the top. And then we're going to pick it up and we're going to fold it in half. And then just run our fingers down through, adjust to make sure everything lines up. Okay, and then we're going to take our white, take that clip off. We're going to set the white on a line, and then we're going to bring our tweed down. You can see it fraying. Okay, and then I'm going to just slowly adjust each side up. This just is kind of the easy way for me. Okay, that way I can make sure that you know, a good inch gap there. Okay, and then I'm just going to put the clip right back on. And then we're going to grab our navy and we're going to do the same thing, top corner to bottom corner. If it's not a perfect triangle, if your cut wasn't completely on at 10, don't worry about it. This Liz petal is totally forgiving. It does not matter. You could do a 9 by 10, which I did actually for one of the Liz petals, because I had made that boo-boo earlier and I cut it at 9 instead of 10. Must have been daydreaming or something. I don't know. My ADHD loves to surprise me in so many fun ways. All right. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to take back our bundle and we're going to bring the blue over and we're going to line it up an inch above these two. Okay, and then you just want to measure. You just want to measure 5 inches, and like 5 inches is like right there, but I usually band mine about a half an inch lower than the 5. I don't know why. Get a nice strong rubber band here. What are you stuck on? It's all the fray. Oh my goodness. There we go. And just double check that, you know, you're still, see, I pulled on the blue, I think, a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So there we have our triple Liz with the white, the tweed, and the navy. Doesn't that just look so cool? I love it. Okay, and I'm going to give myself that inch to an inch and a half of tail. Okay, and there we now have 4 of our Liz petals done. We have 4 more of those to make. We're also going to do a, what did she call it? The twirl petal, different take on the Gerber petal. Funniest thing, it was within a day or two of her posting her video that I had made, and I probably still have it. Not that this is proof or anything, but I was messing around and I had made this out of the pink breeze mesh. I'd have to go back and look the last time I used this in a wreath. I honestly can't even think. It's been a while. But that was the day I had that thought, and I shared it with her. I was really glad to see somebody, you know, bring it to life, and for it to be her, I was actually very happy about that. But we're going to do some of those petals too. I'm very excited. All right, I'll be back once I finish getting all my mesh cut. Okay, guys, I have all my petals cut, and I am back to show you how I get my wreath frame ready. I've already cut my disc of plastic canvas mesh, the 5 count. And all I did was I laid my 10-inch frame down, and I, on the outside of bar 4, I just made a mark and cut it out. And now I'm going to attach it. I don't know why, I always do this upside down. And my zip ties are going to confuse me today, because they're curling the wrong direction. So I start out by doing the, you know, north, east, southwest. And just make sure that, you know, both sides are even before you go to the next one. And then I just go back and put one, well, it's fine, in between those. Okay, and then just snip that off. Get rid of those ties. All right, and that is how I get my frame ready. Now we're going to start with making our sunflower petals. Okay, so normally we do everything curl side up. We are going to do curl side down, and I am still putting my finished edge in the top left and bottom right position. And I am just going to scrunch my way from the bottom corner to the top corner, okay? And you have this. something like it if it wants to lay flat. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to maneuver it around, which I am for some reason not very good at doing. Okay, there, that looks good. And then just gonna pinch that together at the bottom. Grab an elastic. And just band that up. And then just get your fingers underneath there and just kind of open up the flower. Okay. So that's how that's going to lay. I don't know, I hope you guys are seeing good, because when I look at my phone, it doesn't look all that great. Okay, so there's one sunflower petal. We may have cut too much mesh. What am I doing? It wouldn't be a Wreaths by Charlee tutorial without a little ADHD chaos and the inability to count your mesh right. So, bottom corner, scrunch all the way up to the top corner. Okay, and you have this. Okay, and then we're going to bring the left over the right. Gather and pinch that at the end, at the bottom there. And then take an elastic and band that together. Oh good, I thought that was going to break. Okay, and there is another sunflower petal. Curl side down, finished edge, top left, bottom right. And we're just going to scrunch one corner to the next. And then we're going to move left over right. pinch that at the bottom, grab an elastic, and then just kind of open it up with your fingers. Oh, those are not even. I need to fix that. I totally missed that. I will open that later and get a new band. Well, that's better. I'm going to go ahead right now and try putting some of these on, because I did already have quite a few made. I'm not positive if I'm going to fit 10 on the outside here or not. But I think that is actually how I want this to look. So that would mean that we're only putting 8 on here. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I definitely miscounted. All right. So we're going to put our zip tie around the crossbar and bars 2 and 3. And go ahead and give it a little start. And then you're going to put your petal in there and pull that mostly the whole way tight. Then we're going to come back and we're going to go the opposite direction. Again, grabbing bars 2 and 3 and around the crossbar. Okay, finish tightening down the first one and then tighten the second one. Okay, and then snip those off. We're going to do the same thing at each one of the crossbars. And then go the other way. And do the same thing here. All right, so I know weather is like so cliche to talk about that. Like, hey, how's the weather? You know, like, how's the weather up there? But the weather has just been so crazy. Not everybody lives in a 4-season state, but for those of you that do, it is ridiculous how much it just changes so fast Like today, it's almost in the 60s. Yesterday, it was storming, rainy, and it was kind of colder out, like low 50s. We had last week, just a couple of days, we had the waking up in the 30s. And I mean, that is cold, especially for me and my joints and all my pain. It does not like do something and stick with it. Quit bouncing around already. You know what I mean? So, I'm actually one petal short. Just that I have to fold. Actually, go ahead and tighten that down tight the first time. It does help to hold it a little bit straighter for you when you're trying to feed the next one around. All right, so there's those. That's something else. I don't want to keep playing with this because it can fray. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put one in between each of these, again, on bars 2 and 3. So, in case you're wondering why I am doing both bars like that, do you see any petals flopping around or drooping at all? So that's why I do that. I'm not even sure who I got that from. Yeah, I don't know who I saw it from. Hate when these buggers don't want to start. They want to be difficult. Okay, so last one that I have made, but I'll go off and make that, and when I come back, you'll see that they're all on here. Okay. And when we come back, we will be doing the rolled gerbera or twirl petal. I am back and we are going to start making the twirl petal or the rolled gerbera, whichever we're gonna name that. I have no idea. I just think it's a really cool petal. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, so we are back to curl side up, finished edge, top left, bottom right. Bring the top corner to the bottom corner and line that up. And then take a clip and put a clip right there on that tip. I know I'm rhyming. And then we're just gonna smooth this down. Okay, and then we're gonna take the right side and we're just going to roll it like 1.5 times ish. Whoops. You just want to roll it toward the center about 1.5 times, and then have your tail sticking out right about, what is that, about 1 inch. And you're going to probably end up playing with that or adjusting that once you bring the other side down anyway. So don't worry if it's not perfect. Just learn how to get your grip on the petal. Okay, and bring that one in. And then I always somehow find that one side is just a little higher than the other. So you just, like I said, you might just need to kind of shift it a little bit. Then we can go ahead and take our clip off. Okay, we're going to just kind of scrunch it in the center, and then we're just going to bring in that side and bring in that side. Not too much that it makes the roll pull in. You don't want to do that. Okay, and then just, like I said, just kind of make sure, like I like to look and make sure that I have this, you know, round area here, and then this nice V, soft V that forms right there. Oh, I do have one more elastic. I have to go grab some more elastics, guys. I forgot to do that before I hit record. Give me a like if you enjoy the ADHD chaos. All right, so there is the rolled Gerbera. Okay, let me just grab some elastics. Okay. Okay, we're going to do a few more together. So, top corner to bottom corner. And not all of my mesh was like nice straight edges, so I gotta make sure I'm lined up here. Okay, and then just smooth that down. Okay, we're gonna take this corner. Bring that in about 1.5 rolls. And then do the same with the other side. And like I said, just kind of, before you know, pull anything together, just make sure that you got that V the way you want it. Make sure your petals are rolling the way you want them. Okay, and then we can go ahead and remove the clip. Just kind of scrunch what you have in the center, those two tails, and then bring in each of the sides. Now see, look, I pulled that one in a little too much. Can you see that, how it's pulled? So I want to loosen that up a little bit and not pull that in so tight. There, that's better. Okay, and then we're just going to grab an elastic and band that up. I'm not sure if we'll even need to cut any of the tail off, so I'm just leaving it on there for right now until I'm sure. Okay, we'll do one more together, maybe two more. So top corner to bottom corner. Line up your tips. Put on a clip. And just kind of smooth that down. Okay, then grab your right corner and just roll that in about 1.5 times. And then do the same with the left side. Okay, once you have that lined up the way you want it, go ahead and take your clip off, pinch the ties together, and then bring in the bottom of the sides there. And then take an elastic. Hold on a second. That's better. It just was kind of sitting just a little off. It just took me a minute to put my finger on it. All right, now this one, I don't know why, but I am going to cut a little bit off of there. It got really long. Or it just seems like it did. They look the same to me. They look the same to me. All right, one more because it is kind of tricky to get the hang of it. So I'm going to slow it up. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. It's going to get a little shaky. It's a little closer. I just hope you guys can see okay. So finished edge, top left, bottom right, top corner to bottom corner. Just kind of match up your sides and the 2 points here, and then put a clip on the tip, and then just smooth this down. Okay, and then you're going to go around, just kind of roll that about 1.5 turns. Okay, and then just have your tail is going to stick out from the bottom alongside the clip. Okay, and then you're going to take the left side and you're going to do the same thing. Okay, and once they're lined up the way you want them, there we go. I think that looks a little better. Okay, then just grab in your sides. And then grab an elastic and just band it. Okay, and again, there is your rolled Gerbera petal. All right, so you guys go ahead and finish. We only need 8. All right, guys. Excuse me. I did go ahead and make the last 2 petals that I needed to make. And now we are ready. Excuse me. Now we are ready to place these on top of the sunflower petals. So what we're going to do is we are just going to go around the sunflower petal. Don't need to do an X, just go straight around it. And then I'm lining the elastic up with the center of the X in the zip ties. And then I'm pulling my zip tie snug without causing it to shift one way or another. And we're just going to do that the whole way around, directly on top of the sunflower petals. and lining it up right in the center there. My hands get a little tired here by the end of the day. So I was thinking today, I want to ask my followers if they would be willing, well, I guess I can talk to you guys. Would you guys be willing to pop over to my Etsy shop and favorite some of your favorite wreaths? And maybe even give me a follow, because every wreath I make brand new is up on Etsy a lot of times before it's even on Facebook. So I would definitely appreciate that. I mean, it would mean the world to me. It would help me to get seen by more people, which could in turn get me more sales, which would help me to make more money so that I don't have to give this up and go back to treating it as a hobby. No pressure. Yeah, but who doesn't need to make a little extra money these days, honestly? Yeah, you guys don't even have to buy anything. Etsy may even send you like some kind of offer in your messages or in your email or something. I think it's in your email. You're doing good, buddy. Keep eating. One last petal to place, and then we can move into making the remainder of our Liz petals. We have 2 triples and 2 doubles to make. All right, so what are we thinking about this so far? Kind of cute. Can you see the sign? It's working out pretty well with this. I hope so. All right, so you guys want to make some Liz petals? Okay. So what am I doing? All right, so you're going to make a triangle again, just like we've been doing. And you're going to fold this tip almost the whole way up, about a 1/2 inch below. And then you're going to fold it in half again this way, or this time completely in half. Then when you pick it up, you want to turn it the other direction, like kind of flip your wrists, and then find your center with your finger and just kind of slide your fingers down to make sure that nothing is sticking. And then we're going to take our clip and we're just going to clip that, okay, and set it off to the side. Then we're going to grab a piece of our blue and we're going to do the same thing. Finished edges, top left, bottom right, top corner to bottom corner. Smooth that down. Take this bottom tip almost to the top, about a 1/2 inch away, and then fold it in half completely, so all the way to the top. And then when you pick it up, just roll your hands back and then get your finger in the center there and just kind of slide your fingers down, make sure it's, you know, even and nothing is like sticking to each other. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to place the tip of this on a line, which I'm going to take the clip off because that clip keeps it from standing up. So I'm just using a line on my mat here, and I'm going to put the blue one an inch above the white one. Just like that. And we're going to take another elastic. And just wrap that around a few times. Okay, and then you just want to make sure you measure. You want from band to tip to be just about 5 inches. Okay, and we'll go ahead and we'll cut a little bit of this off. Okay, and now we have one each. We just have 2 more to make. So we're going to take our white again, and we're going to make our triangle. I'm going to flatten that down. Take the bottom tip up not halfway, a half an inch below the top fold, and then fold this completely in half. And when you pick it up, you want to roll back to yourself. Just trying to think of a good way to put that to describe it. And then just make sure it's even and put a clip on it and set it off to the side. Forgive me, I have pain patches that I'm allergic to at the moment. And they're just really itchy, but can't take it off yet. All right, now we have our blue, and we're just doing the exact same thing, guys. Oh, about a half an inch away from the top, all the way to the top. And then we're going to do the same thing we just did. We'll line up our white at one of the lines, and then line up one of the blue, or line up the blue at one of the lines. Making sure you've got a good inch in there. And then we're going to clip it again because we're going to make the triple this time. Okay, so we're going to grab another blue. Same thing, top corner to bottom. Just smooth that out. And if your piece isn't a perfect 10, it's not going to matter with this petal at all. So just fold that up about a half inch away from the top. And then fold it in half completely, flip it around, stick your finger in there and make sure the ends are all lining up. Okay, now we're going to do this one more time. We're going to lay these down, and then we're going to lay that one. Okay, so that's about what that's going to look like. And I'm just going to grab an elastic. And this will probably only go around maybe 3 times. Don't want to risk breaking it. Okay, so there we have a triple Liz petal. And we have only one more to make, and that is a double. So you can see how much extra mesh I cut and didn't need to. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so almost to the top, all the way to the top. Flip it over and just smooth it out, line up the sides, the edges I mean, and put a clip on it. Okay, last piece, and then the fun part. We're going to assemble it. And now I'm just going to band this one. Okay, now we have all our Liz petals made. And I had decided against the teardrop petal. It was going to be too big. So we are going to do mini Dean Michaels in white around the sign. So that is the only other petal that we need to make. So I'm just going to go ahead real quick and show you a couple of those. And then you guys can go off and make your mini Deans. I'll get my mini Deans finished. And then when you unpause it, I'll be right here, ready to go. So we're going to fold this in half, or fold this into a triangle. Okay. Now we're going to fold it in half again into another triangle. Okay. And I'm going to hold this down at the tip, and we are just going to scrunch our way across. Now, it's thick. I know. And I think I'm going to try doing this a little bit different, just to make sure that it gets straight the way I want it to be. There we go. That is better. Sorry, I almost lost it. I almost lost the petal. There we go. That's what I like to see. So there's our mini Dean Michael, and I do have it to where it's sort of curling up just a bit. It's like a boat. And that's how I want to put them on. Now leave yourself enough tail, because that's really thick up there. Make sure that you have enough to wrap. Okay, so top corner to bottom. I'm thinking we're going to need 8 of these. Okay. Whoops. Started making a list petal. All right. So I'm going to scrunch in the center and gather each side like I did last time. I don't like putting zip ties on when it's laying on the ground. Doesn't work for me like it works for other people, I think. let's do one more together, and then I'm gonna let you guys make yours. All right, so top corner to bottom. Smooth that down. Make another triangle. Okay, hold that. Find your center, and then just pleat. Grab in your edges here. And then take a zip tie. And while holding the monstrosity of mesh right there, and then just snip off some of your tail. Don't take too much. You want to leave something on there to grab a hold of with the zip tie when you're putting it on. All right, you guys go ahead and make yours, and when you guys get back, we'll be ready to build our snowflake. All right, I'm glad you guys are back, and we are going to finish this wreath. Everybody should have all of their Liz petals done, both the triples and the doubles, and then also your mini Dean Michaels. Okay, so we're going to take the first triple and we're going to attach it to bars 2 and 3 in between the sunflower and the rolled gerbera. Sorry, couldn't think of it. And I am going to zigzag each one. And part of me is thinking that I want to take these gerberas off because they're getting in my way. But let's see if we can make it work. Okay, so there's that one. Where are you at? There you are. And we're just going to go ahead and do the same one across, because it is going to go, a double is going to go here. In just a little bit. So it'll probably wrap around bars 3 and 4. And then this one will go here. And then this one here. And then this one will go here. Or no, this one will go there. And this one goes here. And this one will go here. So now it doesn't matter how you put them on because I got them where I want them to be. Okay, so there's that. Looking pretty good right now, I think. I just hope that the mini Dean Michaels are going to be enough to fill this in. I think we're gonna be all right. Hate that when your zip ties won't start. So we're just going to keep going around and adding in our Liz petals here. I think it's looking quite well. Okay, back to a triple. So we're back on bar 2 and 3. Okay, back to a double, which we'll be doing bars 3 and 4. Okay. Okay, 2 more of the Liz petals to attach. And we're back to 2 and 3. Last Liz petal. We're back on bars 3 and 4. And this is the last group that we have to double the zip ties, because we'll be on the plastic mesh. Okay, now we can move on to, which I'm not positive if I have enough cut or made. Just need to see about where these are going to lay. That's too much white. That's way too much white. I mean, the petals are enough, but I don't know. I think that's too much white in the center. Okay, I think you guys are seeing what I'm seeing too, and there's too much white. So before we go any further, I think what we're going to do is we're going to lift these all up off. We're going to take 4 of our Gerber petals off, and we're going to make them in the light blue tweed, and then we're going to leave 4 of them on. So this one. This one. Let's get them back out of the way. That one. And this one. Okay. Bear with me. We're going to make this gorgeous, I promise. I can pick it up. I don't know what is going on there, but there's all kinds of strands coming out. All right, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're just going to make some Gerber petals here real quick. Grab an elastic. Snip off any little edge pieces that are sticking out. And cut off your tail. Just a little bit. Leave about 1 inch on there. Okay. Oh, God, this is fraying so bad. Trim off any frays. There's 2. Yeah, I know, I'm not bothering to clip it because it's shedding so bad. Well, I hope this is the right call with this. I saw it all in my head. We are going to do our best to make what I saw come true. Stop shedding. God, these frays are just getting in my way. What is going on with this one side over here? That's a little better. Get it to stay that way. This mesh is not friendly. It's beautiful, but it is not friendly. This real quick. Okay, let's bring the wreath back over. And let's get these guys on here. Okay, just 2 more. And remember, we are going directly around the blue sunflower petal and just adding this directly on top. All right. I mean, it looks okay right there, but we're going to know better once we get our Dean Michaels on here. So let's just go ahead and get them started. This is going to be kind of a thick one because these Dean Michaels are pretty thick, remember? Okay. I'm not going to tighten that down just yet. Okay. Again, I'm not tightening them down just yet because I want to make sure after I get these 4 in that it is exactly where I want everything. I think it's going to look a lot better without having instead of having all that white, it's going to break that up for us. So I think these guys are in a good position. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down. Okay, and we're going to get these last few in. Okay, that looks 50 times better, I think. All right, so all we need to do now is attach our sign. And I wish I had blue wire, but I do not. So green it's gonna have to be. I am actually really happy with this, guys. What do you think? I'm really glad you could be a part of this wreath journey with me. If you guys made this wreath, please show me pictures. I would love to see them. I'm just feeding the floral wire through the holes and then pulling it snug as I twist it to the sign. And then I'm going to take these two pieces. I'm going to even them out. I'm going to take these two pieces and even them out. Sometimes they already are. And I don't think there is any direct direction that this needs to go. So it's a little too tight, so I will have to loosen that just a bit. But I think that's all she wrote there. So what do you guys think? Much better without all that white, huh? Yeah, I think so too. Oh, I'm so happy you guys could be here with me to make this. I have been wanting to make this wreath for some time now, so I'm really glad I got to finally get it done. Okay, guys, as always, if you're new to watching me, please subscribe, like, and follow. And I'll tell you what, leave me a little snowflake comment if you guys did make it all the way to the end. I would appreciate it. All right, guys, take care.